All right, so the next speaker for this session we have today is Shri Nitin J. Naik, founder of the Synergy Connect Data Innovations Private Limited. A big round of applause. Come on, everyone.
There is a wrong presentation which should be there, but definitely there is a discussion in terms of till the time I can get someone can get the presentation from my laptop, I will continue. Today we are discussing three major factors out here. One is agriculture, SDGs and how SDGs are connected to that. मैं हिंदी में जितना बातचीत करना चाहता हूँ मैं बातचीत डेफिनेटली करूँगा. Waste those 10 minutes just to start with SDGs. When we are talking of SDGs, there are 3-4 layers when you are talking of goals. The top layer which we talk about are the sustainable development goals. These are the goals which are worked by 163 countries and they have come out with a unified vision. What exactly is required globally as every country to contribute. So SDGs are 17 goals. The second layer comes is more country specific goals. If you see every country based on its development status, यानी वो country is in a developing state, is it a developed country or it is an underdeveloped country, has to create its own country specific goals. Most of the countries do adopt either all the 17 goals or they adopt based on their developing condition. That is the second layer which is there. The third layer which is more critical, जो हम यहाँ पे सब बात कर रहे हैं, is organization specific goals. Now organization specific goals are for corporates and corporates needs to look at what is the country looking into in terms of achieving country specific goals. If it's an MNC, multinational company अगर होती है, उनका focus रहता है कि they need to do organization specific goals as well as they have to look from the I would say from the multinational company whom they are directly related to. The third layer which is there is from the layer of the organization specific goal, selecting between obligation. अगर आपको सबको पता है, there is something called Schedule 7. And if you are speaking, how many are NGOs out here? Okay. Oh, I think 80% of the people are NGOs. So I'll focus my entire discussion towards NGO because that would be something they would be interested in. So whenever you approach any corporate, you should be talking of obligations. See, जो शब्द उनको अच्छे लगते हैं, जिनको उनको कल दिखाना है, गवर्नमेंट को प्रोग्रेस दिखानी है, so they will be talking of more of obligations. So, and that is one thing in 2021, when the act changed, the government has come very strictly, right from not the numbers, but actual impact. How many people know that there is a change in 2021 act? It's only around 5 to 6%. So, आपका जब approach रहता है, why do you not get CSR fund is the main concern to all of you. How many have the same concern? Every one of you have the same concern. So the concern is if you approach right, अगर आप बोलते हैं कि we are going to satisfy number 1 Schedule 7 activity which talks of eradication of poverty. If you are talking to an MNC, you will be talking of the same goal which is no poverty. So the government has done is it has inculcated all the SDG goals based on a developing country status and adopted it. So that is the reason why we are looking in those. When we are approaching corporates, we should be specific to those things. Thirdly, as everyone talking here was talking about individual specific goals or individual social goals. See, we are looking at 4 layers. As United Nations, it has said you need to go to the level of SDGs. Second, country specific goal is Unnat Bharat Abhiyan. I don't know how many people know about Unnat Bharat Abhiyan. Unnat Bharat Abhiyan is the guidelines by the government what people should achieve on 8 parameters. Okay, how many people know about Unnat Bharat? Okay, that's good. Unnat Bharat, if you don't know about Unnat Bharat, you should study that document. It is a guideline given by the government to achieve these goals which are country specific goals. So from a perspective of today's discussion, I would like to talk about 2 case studies out here. One from a perspective of a corporate foundation or a trust whom we work with, and the second from a perspective of a foundation which is working with multiple corporates. to get you an insight into how a single corporate works when it looks into bringing change. So the two corporates I am going to talk about, one is Tata Trust, which we work very closely on. And I would be glad to tell you that whatever discussion is happening out here, what we worked Tata Trust 6 years back, as they say, you need to really look into what do you want to change. So they came out that there were farmer suicides happening all over India. So what was the reason of suicide? We have already discussed. The reason of suicide is like, first is like, I don't have the right crop. Even I get the right crop, I don't get the right rate. Secondly, against the crop, I don't get any money. I don't get credit. Today, what we did in the last 3 years when the pandemic was happening, we had a complete pilot study done in 8 districts. And that 8 districts, okay, I'll just go through. Okay, this is the level. So when you're approaching as a corporate, you're looking at the pyramid. The pyramid always talks about what is the base. The base is people. The base 10 goals focuses on people. And people are who? People of all of us. Whether it is an investor, whether it is an industry person, whether it is an SAG person or whatever is there, is the people goals. If you are able to achieve those goals, it really makes a big difference. Once the people goals are satisfied, we go to the ecological goals. When we are talking of environment, where we are talking of ESG, environmental social governance. And the top layer is the spiritual goals. If you are able to satisfy on the two levels of pyramids, I think it is easy to go at the spiritual level, because spiritual level is only when the inner mind and the soul is satisfied, then only you can talk about. And these are how the corporates needs to work, focus if they need outputs and outcomes. Next. This is what the Unnat Bharat Abhiyan I was talking about. This is very critical if you need to be progressing as an organization, as an NGO. You need to look at the document. It really gives you insight how the NGO should work, how the data should be captured, or what types of indicators you should work on. Next. This is what the Schedule 7 is. तो जब भी आप कोई corporate में जाते हो, you should talk about these numbers. Schedule number 1 is eradicating hunger. Okay, SDG is also connected to the same thing. If you are able to put this in your presentation, that will help you to achieve these Schedule 7 activities which you need to report to the MCA year on year, they will definitely start a discussion with you. But if you say that I am doing ABC, which may be any thematic area, if you say skills, but how do skill reflect into this is very critical to them, rather than you talking about what you are doing. So whenever you are putting any presentation or any proposal, these are certain 3 things which you should put in mind. Next. I'll be a bit faster. So when we are looking at the people at the base of the pyramid, whom are we connecting to? We are connecting to the general public. See, this is what you should be talking to the corporate. The pitch should be this. When I'm touching on the people's life on these 10 goals, which is the bottom layer of the pyramid, and influencing everyone who would be touched upon tomorrow as a customer, tomorrow maybe as an employee, tomorrow maybe in the supply chain, tomorrow maybe in the value chain, tomorrow maybe a policy maker. If the policy maker needs to be influenced, you need to be influencing those people. And every person is a part of the ecosystem. He doesn't sit outside on any other planet. He's on the same planet and he's going to deliver the same thing. He's going to face the same problem. He's going to get the same things. Next. So one second. I'll just take 1 minute. So most of the time when you pitch to corporates, the 3 things which are missing is collaboration. You have to be collaborative. It has to be a PPP model. It has to be public. It has to be private. It has to be a participation who is the beneficiary. So collaboration has to be the base. The second is it has to be sustainable. No corporate is going to stay more than 1 year, 2 year, maximum 3 years in any region. After that, there has to be an handover. When that handover is happening, it has to be a sustainable, because it has to be taken to the next layer. Mayank Gandhi, he has done sustainable model. Tomorrow he can plan to go to another district, another state, because he had made people capable of handling it. He has empowered people with information. He has empowered people with how to do it. He has empowered people with all those which are required. The third is scalable. If you go with a model which is not scalable and you are going to say, I'm going to work in one place and this cannot be taken to another region, no models or no corporate would be interested, because I don't want to incur cost on my experience, my knowledge, which I do in one area. I need to scale it to regions. I need to scale it to the other places. Next. Where are we as India? We are all red. If you see the status, where are we? There are 2 green places, which is very surprising to me also. But this is what the report says. It says, okay, we are talking of responsible consumption and production. Are we green there? I really don't know. And climate change, climate action. Where are we? Are we green there? I think everything is red. So when you talk to corporates, you need to talk the language. You need to talk about these statistics. Tomorrow, if we need to go and talk about major challenge, one of the major challenge is sustainable cities. That's point number 11. Very critical. Why is a city like Bombay failing today? Because we have not built capacity of villages. Why are people coming to cities today? Because we have not given the right infrastructure, right opportunities in villages. So if we need to really invest into CSR, the CSR needs to be invested into villages where you make them. I would really appreciate what Mr. Gandhi has done. It is that change which is required. Even if you spend 10,000 crores building bridges in Mumbai, is it going to solve my problem? No. It is going to create more people will say, यार ब्रिज उधर बांधना है तो मैं वहाँ पे रहने जाऊँ, मैं यहाँ पे क्यों रहूँ, वहाँ पे हॉस्पिटल बांधना है मुझे, मैं वहाँ पे ट्रीटमेंट लेने जाऊँ. People, even if hospitals are built in villages, people do come to cities. We work on something in certain Gadchiroli. We worked on strengthening of the SCD, the Survey of Cause of Death, and the Civil Registry System with Tata Trust, where tomorrow in the next 6 months, there would be an alert. If the lady is pregnant and she needs an emergency, she can be upgraded from a sub-district hospital to a district hospital, maybe to a women hospital where the infrastructure is there. There will be a call generated to the doctor that she is on the way. Technology evolves and you need to look deep thinking. And Tata Trust, to a larger extent, has done it. I won't spend much time, but yeah, this is what we are today in terms of India. Next. This is the Tata Trust project. Everyone here is talking of agriculture. Today, our application e-Peak Pani, we are very proud to say that 3 years of pilot got converted into a full-place system called e-Peak Pahani. Peak Pahani is crop recording. Today, 1.5 crore farmers are using our app to upload crops, and the system is today giving them the empowerment of Maja Sadbara Maja Hatat. Having your land record in your hand, where you know that your name is there on the land record, is the first achievement. The second achievement of this project would be, he would be able to upload crops on a government system. And there would be an audit of the crop by the Talati. That's the second achievement, because I am safe that my crop is recorded somewhere. Basis on that, the next step which is the government is taking is crop credit. Just believe that a person based on his hectareage and production gets a credit of 5 lakh rupees. The debt trap gets converted into the prosperity. If his photograph is there of his crop with the government, he gets an insurance. He's going out of the debt trap. So that is what we did. A corporate like Tata Trust could have a deep thinking. So every corporate should look into what is the larger change which can be brought at policy level rather than smaller change which can be just reported at the MCA level. And the NGOs also have to look into more detail. If they are pitching a project, it has to be collaborative. Here the collaboration was Tata Trust, Government of Maharashtra, the revenue and the agriculture never used to talk to each other, but the technology enabled even talking. So those are challenges. The Talati was the most powerful person. Today also he is the most powerful, but today with technology, he is one who is auditing. So these are all challenges which, when you go with a project, you need to look at the entire ecosystem rather than coming out with a smaller problem. What is the change you are bringing to a larger aspect? Yeah, this is, I won't read it next. This is what the government actually got out of it. This is what the farmer got. Farmers got his land on, he would get insurance, he will be getting crop credit, he would be getting alerts from the system. So technology is going to take him to the next level where we are really going to see that how farmers would be benefited in the entire region. How did it get connected to the SDG goals? If you see the goal number 1, no poverty. See, land ownership, if it is lost due to one bad weather, he goes into poverty. Okay. So if I get an alert and I have an insurance, if I have a crop credit, I'm looking at no poverty can be achieved. Secondly, the automation. Automation results into better yield. Automation results into so many things. Knowledge sharing is one of the most important critical terms in terms of quality education. Gender equality. 60% of the women, they work in agriculture, which is unnoticed, unpaid, underestimated. Like sir was saying, most of the time, the women is one, even the fishery. The lady is working to sell it. And she is getting a good price because of her marketing skills. हम जब जाते हैं सामने वाले को देख के वो प्राइस फिक्स करती है, इसको कौन सा फिश देना है और कौन से प्राइस पे देना है. Everyone agrees? So that is skills and we are actually not giving back to them. So these are certain, you need to connect. Whichever project you take, you need to talk about SDG goals, but at the same time you need to tell them your obligation are Schedule 7 and how it is connecting both of them. So on an international basis, they'll be talking of SDGs, but on a national basis, as an obligation, they will be talking specific about SDG goals. I'll just take you through this. Just go back. If you have any questions, next slide. Next. So this is what the entire project was. This was the types of reports which were there. This was exactly what was uploaded. A crop could be seen by anyone, everyone. And as a company, we work with a lot of corporates in terms of digitalization. And thank you very much for this opportunity. It would have been a 1-hour talk, but thanks. Thanks for the wrong PPT. Any questions? No questions? Either I was very fast or people have not understood or everyone knows everything. There can be 3 possibilities. Anything for anyone?
There's some
Yeah, please.
Sir, I don't have a question, but I want to express my gratitude for what you have said just now. It has helped us a lot. It has helped us.
Oh, thank you so much. Thanks. I do take getting donor ready sessions, so helping NGOs to understand what is the donor mindsets. Thanks. Thank you so much. Thank you.